Hello guys and welcome back to Hey Manager, me Alex, and today we're going to get straight into a new simulation we've done. It's Alexander Isak at Liverpool, and just today they have lost in the Community Shield against Crystal Palace. Ekitike getting a goal, Verts getting an assist, Frimpong getting a goal, even if it was just a fluke. But will we see Isak go to Liverpool? They look like they need a bit more creativity, a bit more fluidness on that left-hand side. Could he potentially replace Gakpo on the left? And then you've got the front three of Salah, Ekitike and Isak as well. Let's have a look. Let's find out how they fare. So then, we're going to start off with Liverpool right from the very beginning, and none other than the selection screen. So what have I done? I've brought in Alexander Isak and I've updated the whole database. So this should have the likes of Nunez, who has now gone to Al Ali, I believe, Al Hilal, he's now gone to, as Darwin Nunez, so he's now there. Chelsea, have they brought in Hato transfers? Let's have a look. He is at Chelsea, actually. That is a good point. So there we go. We can see Hato at Chelsea, 17 years of age. Looks unbelievable for a 17-year-old. Wow. Obviously, this is FM24, so he'll be 19 now, but flipping out, that is some player at 17 if he was to be 17, but he's obviously, we know he's in real life, he's 19. But anyway, back onto it. Isak is going to be up front. We've got this team. This is the formation we're going with. This is the Klopp 4-2-3-1, where we let Verts go further forward. We could play with a 4-3-3, where Gravenberch goes into this position, Verts goes further forward, but from what I've seen today, I think we're going to stick with this one, where Verts goes further forward, they let Ekitike go on, they let Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right, Kirk's in there with Frimpong, Virgil and Canate. They pushed forward, it didn't really work out for them in the end, they did concede 2, and yes, let's just see how they fare. Ekitike up front. The question is, will he start over Ekitike, Alexander Isak? It's up to slot. I'll show you that in a minute, but if we just compare the two, there's been a few attribute changes. This is the Passion for FM update, and as you can see here, Alexander Isak beats Ekitike in the dribbling, in the finishing, in the penalty taking, in the technique, in the first touch. All the main ones apart from heading and long shots. Now, Ekitike looks a bit more well-rounded technically, but mentally we see it's pretty much inseparable. We see a bit more flair from Alex Isak, a bit more vision, and then physically we know Ekitike is a bit more stronger, a bit physical, a bit bigger than Alexander Isak, I think we've seen, but a little bit better agility and balance for Alexander Isak, who's a better dribbler. So as an advanced forward, they are a little bit better. Alexander Isak is a tiny bit better, as you can see here, in the half a star better there. So overall, what we're going to look for, how Liverpool perform. We're going to see how they play against the opposition, who plays for them. Is Isak going to be the main striker? Is Ekitike going to find his way into the side? How will Slot manage it? And what I've done is I've let Slot be, I've kept the coaching team in the background as they are, and I've let Slot become the assistant manager, and I've given them all the responsibilities for media, training, tactics, match day, and set pieces. So that should be it for us. We're going to have a look at how this turns out. We're going to simulate through to January, then we're going to simulate through to the end of May. We're going to see how far we make it in the Champions League. Obviously, if they do make it to the Champions League final, we'll bring you that. But for now, let's see how they fare in the league up until January. And yeah, let's just see who actually plays, because the squad isn't as deep as I thought it would have been. They were very reliant on quite a few players, and if they get an injury to a centre-back, I think they're pretty much done for. Joe Gomez, can he fit in there? Is he going to be as good at centre-back? We don't know. We'll have to find out. We'll have to see what they do. So let me join you back in January. Might give you a bit of an update through from July to January in the background as a commentary, Alex, and then we'll join back in January then as a quick pit stop, then straight through to May. Thank you, Alex, from the past. Now then, let's go through how Alexander Isak did between June and January, should I say. So, on the opening day of the season against Everton, he picked up a brace, winning 4-0 in the end, picking up 2 fantastic lead-taking goals. This was followed up by a goal versus Fulham, beautifully crafted by Salah into Isak, finishing that one off. They then lost 2 games on the bounce in the Premier League, but off the bench against Brentford, he managed to come on and score, beating them 2-1 in the end. He then scored on his debut in the Champions League with Liverpool 4-2, and Isak slotting it home there, as we can see. Liverpool then smashed Forest 8-1, which is a fantastic goal by Isak, where he pounced on a loose ball. He then got a brace against Leeds, which finished 2-2, which was a shame after a great display, to which then they played Leyton Orient, and he managed to score a goal in that one to advance them through to the quarter-finals. We then see, next up, Then played Benfica in the Champions League in a 3-2 thriller where he'd managed to score a goal and advance them through in the Champions League. Ekitike then scored a brace against Newcastle, a game where Alexander Isak wanted to get a win over them so badly he managed to get a contribution in that one as well, winning 5-0 in the end. They did then lose to Chelsea in between that. Ekitike scoring goals for fun in the Club World Championship, but Isak out injured. Ekitike then starts, but Isak comes on in the 70th minute against Sunderland, scoring an amazing hat-trick in only 8 minutes, to which then he did pick up another injury. Fire over back to Alex, who's going to now tell you how he did up until January overall. Okay, then you join me back quickly now at January. Now let's just have a quick look as how we went. I've just done a bit of a highlight. I've got down my notes on the right hand side as to how Isak has done. And as we can see, Liverpool have had pretty good success. They've had a few losses here against City, against Wolves, against Arsenal and Tottenham and Chelsea. Some of the bigger sides, apart from Wolves, I don't know what happened there, but some of the bigger sides in the league. Other than that, Isak seems to be the #1 striker. As we go into the squad view now, we'll actually see how many appearances he's had. He's actually had 21 appearances, 4 of which have come off the bench. If we look at then comparing that to the likes of Ekitike, 16 starts for him, 11 off the bench. We do see a massive difference in the output though, that's the main one. 19 goals in 21 games, 4 off the bench for Alexander Isak. Salah's got 22 with 13 assists, 0 assists for Isak, which is crazy. But Ekitike in there with 4 and 6. If we do have a look at his profile, as you can see there, looks like he's on a bit of a downward spiral, not in the greatest run of form. He has picked up an injury, which is a bit of a worry in the last 2 weeks, or in training I think, on the 14th and 12th, so yeah, in the last 2 weeks. So he's been out for 2 weeks pretty much. It's his current injury. He's been in and out of the squad coming on around the 70th minute because I think Slot realises how important he is for the squad with the goals. We did see him get that hat-trick, which is unbelievable. And then also, we can see his twisted ankle in August, 26th of August, against Manchester City. He was out for 3 weeks as well. It's a bit of a moderate injury. So, yeah, not the greatest starts. He has got, a massive return, great amount of goals, as you can see here. We can look back all the way to, I think that's October, start of October in his form. We can see where he's, a bit of an injury is picked up around here. He's been out injured basically throughout the whole of the Club World Cup Championship that we saw there. But otherwise, came back against Sunderland, got a hat-trick. He's played pretty well. He's played 17 out of the potential 20. Got 9.3 maximum rating, average of 7.05, and 11 goals scored. If you look at the actual development and his progress, he has got a lot better, but then drifted back down when he got injured towards that 4-star in December. He was quite high up, you can see here, nearly in the 4.5-star region. But other than that, realistically, if we just have a look at his, his actual performance itself in stats, he's done pretty well. If you can see here, Champions League, 4 goals in 6 appearances, which is really good. Premier League, 12 in 12 starts with 4 off the bench, which is really good as well. 2 goals in 2 Carabao Cup appearances, Community Shield as well. They did manage to get a goal, but I believe they lost that. And then European Championship qualifying with Sweden, he's got a goal in 2 games for them as well. So, in terms of Champions League and all the other competitions, we saw the Friendly Cup, they were winner of that. They won the Club World Championship. UEFA Champions League, they are still in that. They're now playing against Bayern. In the FA Cup, they've got Sunderland in the next 3rd round, I think it is, yep. That's pretty much it. And then the Carabao Cup, we do play Luton as well. So, as you can see, Alexander Isak doing pretty well all round. Liverpool, not so much. They are falling off big time. They can potentially go up 2 seconds, scoring a lot of goals, but losing to the likes of Chelsea, City, Tottenham. They lost to Wolves as well. They're not picking up as many points as they should do in the league, but they are advancing everywhere else. You can see they're playing for 6 competitions, which is crazy. Alexander Isak as a whole doing pretty well. We can see he's preferred in Schlot's tactic. And yeah, let's just see where he ends up soon, because I have a feeling they're going to have to bring in someone in the January. We're going to see what Schlott does. I'm going to hand over the transfers to him and let him do his thing. But let's just see how he fares going on towards the back end of this year, and also whether or not Ekitike is going to take his place, because he's been playing pretty well of late, and he does look a little bit better as a striker rather than being out left. So we'll have to see, but 19 goals, you can't argue with it. It's been a success so far. So I'll join you back in probably the summertime, around May. I'll do the quick update again as well, but let's see how we fare again, with Liverpool in this challenge where we're going to try and get Alexander Isak to win a trophy at least with Liverpool in his 1st season. Let's see how they fare. Thank you very much, Alex. Commentary Alex back again. Now then, between January and May, how did he fare? He did get a goal against Luton, send them through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, then a goal versus Sunderland sends them through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Then a goal against City puts them up 1-0, but they did lose 2-1 in the end. Then in the Carabao Cup, he scored in the first leg but lost in the second leg against Crystal Palace, seeing them out of the competition. Then against Brentford, he scored a lovely goal to manage to get a 2-all draw in that one. Then against Brighton, a massive brace in this one to put them up 4-0 in the game overall after following Wirtz's brace itself. Then in the Premier League again against Forest, he scores 2-0 for a big win in the competition there that they needed desperately at that point in time. Then against Wolves in a 4-0 thriller, he came on at half time scoring 1 goal and getting 2 assists throughout that game. He then went 3 games in a row without scoring, but then scored against Bayern in an absolute thriller which saw them go through 4-2 on penalties. He then scored a goal against Palace and then went 5 games without scoring. He scored a brace against Chelsea in the Champions League to win 3-0, sending them through 6-1 on aggregate. And then a massive hat-trick against Aston Villa, where they needed a big result considering Villa were close rivals in the Premier League but didn't manage to pull through in the end. He then went on to score a goal against PSG in a huge win where they did overall win 3-0 in the end, but no goals in the last 4 games brings him through to the current day where we do have to face a Sunderland side in the final day of the season, and then also he's going to be facing Tottenham in the Champions League final. We'll see how he fares in that one. Right then guys, we are back and we have made it to the Champions League final. So Liverpool, we made it through. We then beat Bayern on penalties. We then beat Chelsea 6-1 on aggregate. We just beat Liverpool. We just beat PSG 4-2 in aggregate. Tottenham, on the other hand, they did beat Borussia Dortmund on penalties and they managed to beat Barcelona 3-2. They then beat Arsenal in the North London derby in the semi-final to make that's 4-3, and then now they're through to the final against Liverpool, against us. It's going to be an interesting one. So I'm going to let Schlott do everything. I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So I let him basically pick all of this. He does what he wants. Selection advice, it is going to be Schlott. Use the suggested squad. He does his own thing. So let's just see who is used. Mark Guehi, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, he did join in the January for 92 million. Now, they haven't started Kirkes for a while now. They are preferring Robertson still. I think it's just the experience of having him there. Obviously, I think probably just keeping him as fit as they can. He's not as sharp, but his match fitness is always still there as well. So they've got McAllister and Szoboszlai playing in the midfield too. Yeah, Isak starting up front. We've got Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right, Wirtz in behind, McAllister and Szoboszlai, Robertson on the left, Frimpong on the right, Virgil and Konate. You can see all the partnerships and relationships they've formed. Obviously, Kirkes has that partnership with Gakpo as he's started majority of the games through this year, but Robertson is going to now going to be there. We're going to go positive. I'm going to leave it as it is. We'll play through. We'll watch some of the highlights together. I'll bring you the key ones. Schlott basically does everything in the background. He does, you know, the dressing room talk. As you can see, talk complete. Everyone looks quite motivated or composed. We're playing against Tottenham. They look pretty good. They've got Maddison, Kudus playing in the central midfielder role, which is strange. Pretty nice squad. Basuma they've taken as a preferred player in there, and then obviously Solanke up front. We've got ourselves. Pretty big year for us. Tottenham having a fantastic year under Frank. Fantastic for them as well. I'll obviously show you after this game the summary and where we're up to. So let's get into it. Let's get to the key highlights and let's see how we fare against a strong Tottenham side. There's a highlight, the first highlight of the game, 15 minutes in. Salah crosses it in towards Wirtz. It can't really do anything with it. It's just bouncing around in the air at the moment. Konate gets it under control now, and Frimpong drives forward. Frimpong goes all the way, and Vicario's there to save it. And there's a highlight immediately towards the other end. Pedro Porro picks it up. Robertson's there to tackle him, but I think that was a great strike. I think that was by Kulusevski, actually, as it Alisson puts it wide. I can't really keep up with this. Salah then gets that away, and the corner's no threat. Frimpong can run forward now. Will he run forward? He doesn't. Bentancur gets there and puts it out of play. With another highlight here, Kudus whips it towards the back post. Now Frimpong goes forward. He can use his pace to go down this right-hand side. Cuts inside now, back to Virgil van Dijk as Liverpool build up from the back. Gakpo going forward. What can he do? He finds Robertson, who puts it back into Gakpo's path. McAllister into Wirtz. Finds Szoboszlai. Isak's there. Or Isak. He can't do anything with it. He was offside. It was a poor run. And now there's another highlight for Tottenham. building from the back now. Bentancur into Van der Ven. What can he do with it? Udogie goes down this left-hand side. Salah nicks it off him, though. Wirtz gets caught out. Basuma goes forward, gives it Richarlison. Richarlison's going to shoot, and he puts it in the back of the net. Isak, it's his first chance this year to win silverware, I believe, outside of the Club World Championship, and he was injured for that. I think he was injured anyway. Yeah, he was injured for it, so he's not going to get a medal. Richarlison puts it past Alisson Becker, and Tottenham go 1-0 up in the Champions League final. Now then, there's a corner. Szoboszlai whips in deep, and Konate's there to head home. Liverpool, a bit of a lifeline here. Isak and Gakpo not having a great game so far. Are we going to see Ekitike maybe come on and, take the glory for a year where Isak's been pretty good throughout the whole year? Now we're going to go into the dressing room. We're going to let Schlopp motivate the players. Everyone seems inspired or motivated, which is pretty good for a team talk. Right, it's the 63rd minute. What we're going to do here, condition-wise, let's see how players are faring. Cody Gakpo not having a great game out there. We're going to bring on Ekitike, because Isak's on a 6.8 now. Ekitike can play out on that left-hand side. He's going to come in, play on the left, because Gakpo's not having a great game. Jeremy Frimpong looks a bit worse for wear, but he's having a good game out there. Wirtz not having the best one, and nor is Salah, but they're playing okay. So I think the only player that we'll bring on for now is Ekitike for Gakpo. A bit more, ability up there anyway. We're looking to maybe chase the game. What would I think he'd do? I think he'd let Ekitike go further forwards and play as his preferred sort of, complete forward attack role. And we'll put Wirtz out on the left-hand side, and he can play the advanced playmaker support role out on that left-hand side instead. So we're going to let them carry on with that. That's how I think they'd change. That's how I think they'd go for it. And we'll see what Schlopp does for the rest of this game. As there's another highlight here. Wirtz picks it up now on that left-hand side. Szoboszlai, a bit of a tactical change by Schlopp. Frimpong whips it in towards Ekitike, and he makes an instant impact. Absolutely instant. Oh, wow. Ekitike coming off the bench and scoring. Frimpong going down the right-hand side. Schlopp going a bit more attacking, as he probably would do in these games. We saw him bring on, let players get forward in the Community Shield. He can only go off what I've seen pre-season as well, where they played like a 4 across the front line where he needed to. Ekitike getting the goal. Now Tottenham, there's pressure on them to really try and come forward now. McAllister, though, pressing forwards. Here we go. Robertson going down this left-hand side. Back into McAllister. McAllister back into Konate. Frimpong tries to find Salah. It's a poor ball forward. Frimpong back into Szoboszlai. Finds Salah, who puts it across to Alexander Isak, who scores the biggest goal of his career so far. 3-1 now. That gives them the cushion. It gives them a bit of a pillow to sit on. This is brilliant. A bit of a padding. So now Tottenham, they have to score 2 in the space of 20 minutes, should I say, sorry. 68th minute, so there's 20 minutes left of the game. We'll make a few more substitutions when people look a little bit worse for wear. Now it's headed towards the back post. Virgil van Dijk's there, and now we'll make a few more changes, shall we? In fact, Tottenham have a highlight from the off, and it looks like it might be a penalty. 76 minutes in now, penalty review. What are they going to say? Penalty awarded. I don't know who gave that away, but unfortunate for us. We're going to see, I think it's Maddison stepping up to the plate, who puts it home, coming back from his ACL. It's his 17th goal of the season, obviously. I don't believe his ACL will be in the game yet. But Maddison puts it home, fires home, and puts Tottenham within 1 of going, getting back into this game. We're getting up towards the end of this game now. What we're going to do, I think we'll pause it in a minute. We're going to make a substitution just to waste time. We're going to bring off Salah, who can get, we're going to bring on Guehi. And what we're going to do is we're going to shove Guehi at the back. We're going to hold on to this game now. Ekitike can go back out wide. Curtis Jones can play out on the right-hand side. Ekitike on that left-hand side as a inside forward attack. We're going to get him on the attack. Jones can play as a forward attack. And we're just going to drop Guehi in this midfield, in this middle area as a libero, just to let him do his thing at the back to basically secure the win here. As we come up to the final few minutes of this, as there's a highlight, Alisson, you've just got to hold on to the ball, son. 10 more seconds, hold on to it. Hold on to it, Gravenberch into McAllister. Don't make any mistakes now late on in the day. It's the 95th minute now. Alisson playing around at the back stupidly. McAllister, go on, run into the corner. Konate into Gomez now. What's going to happen? Ref needs to blow the whistle. Gomez keeps going forward. What's he going to do? He's going to pulls it back to Gravenberch. Gravenberch takes a shot, and he basically secures it in the 95th minute. Gravenberch puts it in the back of the net, and that is 4-2. Liverpool are going to win the Champions League. Alexander Isak, in his first season, may have not won the Carabao Cup, may have not won the FA Cup, may have not won the Premier League, but in his second season, Slot masterminds it and wins Alexander Isak a trophy, and it is the biggest trophy in the whole of Europe. It's the Champions League, the greatest trophy they could have won, and we're going to see Liverpool lift it up. Virgil van Dijk will lift it above his head, and there we have it. Liverpool win the Champions League. Schlott doing the business, and wow, that is an absolutely mega result for Liverpool. So let's just drop now into the review. We'll see how they've fared, see how Alexander Isak has done, never mind Liverpool, and yes, what a successful season overall for Liverpool yet again. So then we can now review how Alexander Isak has done this year. So we have a look at the amount of games he's played, and Isak sits there on 46 and 8 off the bench, 62 possible games. I think he's only played, as you can see here, he's missed out on 16 of them, which is crazy. But overall, 38 goals for Alexander Isak in 46 competitions. Salah with 22 assists and 38 goals in 49 games. 2 assists for Isak in the end. His nearest competition is Ekitike with 15 and 7. Not doing particularly great, but that's what we expected. Isak is just that level above. A 0.9 expected goals. This is crazy if you just look at the stats there. So the amount of minutes he's played, XG of 28.65. He's massively exceeded that with 38. Goals per 90, 0.91, and 4 player of the matches because Mohamed Salah has been robbing them off him, basically robbing them blind off him. Alexander Isak, though, let's have a look at his stats as we finish off the year. He looks pretty good now as an advanced forward. He'll be around 26 years of age in his peak. That we'll see from him here. I think basically you look at him here and he's done really well considering £130 million move, which we're looking at. You know, I think they're going to have to pay £130 million full stop for him. That's the only way they're going to get him. But injuries wise, we saw him have a few injuries pre-Christmas, pre the new year, but going into the year 2026 or 2024 as in this game, obviously because we're 2 years behind, 26th of the 3rd he picked up an injury, but it was only a match in, I think it was the Swedish, I want to say the World Cup qualifiers, but three days out for him, so he's got time out on that one. But Isak overall, if you look at the form over the past few, like this will be from February, we can see here 17 possible games, his average rating of 7.2 and 11 goals, 2 assists in 17 games. He's played pretty well. You can see hit a bit of a purple patch, should I say, around this area where over these 4 games he managed to score quite a lot of goals. 2 goals in that one, 3 goals in that one, goal in that, so that's 6 overall. 6 goals in 4 games there, and then the rest of it he seems to just like sort of teeter out. He seems to have his moments and then teeter out a little bit. As you can see, gets pulled off of the pitch a few times. Quite early on, 60th minute, 79th minute, you know, that's why I did make quite a few substitutions in the 60th minute, because I know Schlott likes to do that. He did come off against Manchester United in the 45th, obviously not having a fantastic game in that one, 6.5 rating. But if we have a look at the stats overall, you can see he's been fantastic, absolutely fantastic. You can see 23 goals in the Premier League, 27 games, 9 goals in the Champions League, which is mental to think about, 12 appearances overall, 4 goals in the Carabao Cup, 4 games, so that's really good returns. Then we can see, as well as that, a few goals elsewhere. So overall, if you highlight all of them here, 41 goals in 50 games, including the European Championship qualifiers, 3 assists. He's absolutely smashed his expected goals out of the park. And yeah, you can't really fault him here. He's had an absolutely fantastic season. In terms of the Champions League, he finishes 2nd in the goals tally. Victor Osimhen, the only one beating him from Galatasaray. We then have a look at the Premier League as well. He does finish 2nd to Mo Salah in the leaderboards. We can see here Spanish Cup winners. He did win the Carabao Cup at Newcastle. We have to highlight that in there as well. Then he was named in the season's best 11 for Sweden. He then got the top goal scorer runner-up with Liverpool and also won the Champions League as well. So Absolutely brilliant for Alexander Isak. I'm over the moon for him. I think he'll be a success if he goes to Liverpool, but overall, that's where we stand. I hope we did enjoy this simulation. I've been recording for just about an hour, so if we can crumple this down to 20 minutes, that'd be the dream. So let's see what I can do. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, please leave a like. Subscribe if you are new for more simulations. I want to try and hit the 300 sub-manager mark by Christmas. That's been my aim for the longest. Let's see how many we can get by Christmas. If we can get to 500, I'd be over the moon, but let's aim for 300 and get small wins for now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all doing great. I shall catch you in the next one. From Alex, have a great day. Ciao.